I grew up in Texas, so yeah, woo! So I wanted to be a football player. Okay, I loved the sport. You know, like the rush of a big hit. You know, the challenge to compete with someone one-on-one and the thrill of victory. Oh, I couldn't get enough of it. So as you can imagine, I was pretty psyched for my first day of summer football camp. I arrived at the gym all ready to go, and one of the trainers grabbed me, and he's like, "We're gonna go take your metrics." I'm like, "Metrics? That sounds professional." And so they walk me into this like back room, and I stand on a scale, and he writes down my weight, and I stand up against a wall, and he writes down my height, and then the trainer's like, "Lift up your shirt." I'm like, "Okay." And I lift up my shirt, and he pulls out these little clasps, and he pinches my stomach. And then he writes down a number on his little board, and he's like, "You're going to want to work on your body fat percentage this summer." I was like, oh, man. Like, maybe he was, being honest, but it's a weird thing to say to a 10-year-old. Apparently, these Friday night lights were more like clear eyes, full hearts, washboard abs. Next, he leads me across the street to the playing field, which is like a dusty patch, and I start looking around at the other campers, and they're all bigger than I am. Some of them have facial hair. A few even drove up in their own cars. See, this is not actually a camp for learning how to be a football player so much as a camp for high school football players who want to like buff up and, work their way up the depth chart for games that fall. I don't know what I've signed up for, but I do know that I'm going to do whatever it takes to impress these big football players I admire so much. The trainer comes out and stands in the middle of us, and he's like, "Fellas, the blood and sweat that you leave on the field this summer, that's your down payment for your victories this fall." And I'm confused, because first, I didn't understand that football had a banking system associated, like, is there interest involved? Second, I thought I signed up to play football, but no. I signed up for 3 hours of running in the Texas summer sun, non-stop. By the time they break for lunch, I am exhausted. They escort me and all the other campers into the gym. And the gym is this giant warehouse space. It's got black rubber mats all over everything. You can smell the sweat in the air, and you hear the sounds of big dudes like pumping weights and grunting, bouncing off the cinder block walls. It is a temple to toxic masculinity, okay? This is this beautiful place where I'm like, I want to show them what I can do. And the trainers start breaking us up into like position groups. So they're like, "Dustin, you go with the linebackers. And Justin, you go with the linemen. Other Dustin, you go with the quarterbacks." And I'm like, okay, what position am I going to get put in? I kind of want to be a quarterback, but maybe I'll be a running back, and I just want to show off my skills. And the trainer's like, "Mike, you go with Tyler and Sarah." I look, this kid Tyler showed up. He's like about my age, a little older, and then there's Sarah. She's the only female counselor. And they escort both Tyler and I like to another gym, like away from the Taj Mahal of testosterone, into like this area that's carpeted and it's air conditioned. There's like a TV with ESPN2 on it. This isn't football camp. This is like daycare with treadmills, okay? I can't prove my worth in here. I look at Tyler and I'm like, "Tyler, why did you sign up for football camp?" And Tyler's like, "My dad works in the office building next door, and he didn't want me spending the whole summer playing Mortal Kombat." I'm like, "Oh, Mortal Kombat's awesome." He's like, "Yeah, I know." Luckily, Tyler and I kind of hit it off. We spend the afternoon like pretending to lift weights. We become swole mates. Sorry. And that's our schedule, Monday through Thursday, is like running our butts off in the morning and weightlifting in the afternoon, except for Fridays. On Fridays, they bring the whole camp together, and they have special speakers. So the first Friday, they brought in a nurse, and she was like, "Gentlemen, steroids might seem like a shortcut to success, but in reality, they are a detour to your dreams. Okay, your breasts will swell and become tender. You'll get acne all over your back, and your testicles will shrink and recede into your body." And at 10, I was like, "Your testicles come out of your body?" What? A couple weeks later, they invited a former NFL player who's now like a motivational speaker. And he was like, "Gentlemen, when you step on that field, you got to be a warrior. Not just for your family, not just for your team, but for your Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ." It was Texas. I should have paid more attention to Sunday school. I had no idea there was so much football involved in the Bible. Now, I was living in Plano, Texas at the time, which for those of you who don't know, had one of the biggest high school rivalries in Texas State football, if not the country. Plano High versus Plano East. And all the guys at the camp either went to Plano High or East, and they wouldn't stop talking about Final Friday, the last Friday of camp, where they would have people from East and High compete. So we all walk in at the end of camp to Final Friday. In Austin, one of the trainers is standing there, and he's like, boys, you've had a great camp this summer. Everyone's gotten better. But today we settle some scores between East and High with one-arm boxing matches. And everyone's like, yeah, they're all excited. And Tyler looks at me, and he is not excited. And I look at Tyler, and I'm like, it's okay. He's like, they're not going to make us fight, are they? And I'm like, no, dude, it's cool. We're not even in high school yet. No one cares about us. And, of course, as the crowd dies down, Austin's like, all right, so we're going to start with our youngest age group. Mike and Tyler, come on up here. For the first time all summer, all of the big boys I've been trying to impress are watching me as Tyler and I walk into the middle of this ring. Austin grabs my left hand, he puts a boxing glove on it and takes medical tape and wraps my right hand behind my back. He does the same to Tyler. And then he says, touch gloves and come out fighting, which is a weird thing to say to a 10-year-old. And we stand there, like, shocked and confused. Like, Tyler's my only friend here. I don't want to punch him. But Austin won't have it. He pulls up my hand and puts up Tyler's hand, and he knocks them together. And then I see Tyler's face just like, he gets confused, a little scared, and then he panics. And he reaches out his right hand and punches me on the left shoulder. And I get that adrenaline rush of that big hit. And all of a sudden, I'm like, yeah, I don't know if Tyler knows this, but I've been working on my body fat percentage this summer. So I plant my left foot, I pull my arm back, and I punch him straight in the chest. And the place goes nuts. Oh, because I hit him pretty good. And now I'm like, oh yeah, I'm competing one-on-one. This is great. I am a warrior. Not just for my family or my friends, but maybe for Jesus. Let's do this, Tyler. And Tyler's trying to like reset, and he pulls back his arm, but I punch him again really quick right in the stomach, and he goes, oh, and the whole place goes, ooh. And now Tyler is staggering, and it's like Mortal Kombat. I might as well have been Scorpio, and he was Sub-Zero. He's just standing there like this, and the one thing running through my mind is finish him. So I pull back my fist, and I unleash the biggest haymaker my 10-year-old body can unleash, and I land it right on his jaw. And Tyler hits the deck hard, and the place explodes with cheers. And Austin grabs my hand and lifts it above my head and says, we have a winner! And I feel that rush of thrill of victory. But it's confusing because Tyler is on the ground and he is hurt. So this is what it's like to be a football player. Thanks.